Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you all a walk around and tour of this 2023 Ford Escape ST Line Select, finished off here in rapid red tinted metallic clear coat with the ebony sport leather interior. Starting off here, as you can see, the ST line is going to be a pretty unique model to the Escape, as it's going to be the sport-oriented trim level, and it gives you a couple of cool things, like, for example, in this case, you do get the optional premium technology package, which does add a couple of nice technology features, such as a 13.2-inch infotainment display with navigation. You do get a 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. You also get a 360-degree view camera system, which comes in handy, of course, and a lot of other things as well. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned here in McKinney, Texas, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, this vehicle here does come with a couple of different things here on the key fob, and it includes such as follows. You have your lock, unlock, remote start, trunk release, and a panic button. To remote start the vehicle, just make sure the vehicle is currently locked, and double click the remote start function, and the vehicle will turn right on. And after waiting a few seconds, double click it again, and it will shut right back off. Coming around to the front of the vehicle, as you can see, you do have a pretty nice and unique grille specific to the ST line, with the Ford emblem in front. You do also have LED daytime running lights, as you guys saw when the vehicle was running, as well as LED projector headlamps, and you do have fog lamps below. Coming along to the wheels, as you can see, we're taking a look at a set of Bridgestone Ecopia HL 422 Plus tires on 18-inch wheels. These measure 225, 55 R18s all the way around. With that being said, just like with all Ford vehicles, including this one, it does come standard with a smart key access system, allowing you to get inside and outside the vehicle quite easily. As long as you have the key fob on you in your pocket, come up to the door handle. There's a touch sensor right here. Put your hand in there, and the vehicle will indicate unlocking. And then, of course, to lock the vehicle, just simply tap the button here, and the vehicle will indicate locking. Starting off here on the door panel, as you can see, you do have some hard touch plastic material as expected on this vehicle. However, it is complemented with this very nice carbon fiber look here, which looks really cool. Kind of gives it that sporty factor as you would expect in this vehicle. You do get a aluminum finished door handle. Coming down below that, you do have some of this soft touch material here, which is nice, along with some very cool red stitching. You do have 3-person memory seating here. Your unlock and lock switch is right there. You're going to have your control deck here, which includes your child lock right here for your windows, your adjustments for your windows, which windows you're going to adjust, as well as your power windows, or excuse me, your mirror controls, which mirrors you're going to adjust, and then your power windows. Coming below that, you are going to have 2 areas where you can put cups, and a small little storage area right underneath there. And of course, you do have your Bang & Olufsen speaker in the door. Along with that smart key access system, the Escape ST Line Select does come standard with push button ignition. As long as you have the key fob within the vehicle, like in this case, in my pocket or inside the vehicle itself, all you have to do is just simply put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. Very nice. All right, everyone, so starting things off here, we're taking a look at a fully leather-wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel. And as you can see, you do have some red stitching along the steering wheel to let you know that you have this ST line trim level. You have controls here on the left, as well as on the right sides. Left side is going to house controls for cruise controls, as well as for some safety features. You also have your audio controls here for the volume, and then your hands-free speaker right down here. Come over to the right side, you're going to have controls for the main screen up there for the menu, as well as your control for your phone and your fast forward and go back buttons for your multimedia. With that being said, as you come up here, we're taking a look at a 12.3-inch digital cluster here, which looks very nice, and you're welcomed with two main gauges. To the left, you're going to have your tachometer, and to the right, you're going to have your speedometer. In the middle, you're going to have an icon of the vehicle, as well as currently what's playing on the radio right now as far as your audio source is concerned. Right below that, to the left, you're going to have your coolant temperature. In the middle, you're going to have your auto stop start function, which is currently disabled. You're going to have your gear selector, miles to empty, your current odometer reading, which, as you can see, this one has just over 6,500 miles. And then to the far right, you're going to have your exterior temperature as well as your fuel range, as you can see. Now, as we take a look at the screen up here, as you can see in the middle, just by using this little menu switch and these little buttons, you're going to be able to go through and cycle through a couple of different things. So, for example, let's say we want to go and check out the calm screen here. It's going to turn some things off and kind of move things around, which is pretty cool. Trip 1 information, which includes your elapsed time, average fuel economy, and your miles driven. Fuel economy average, as well as a tire pressure monitoring system. Coming to your main menu here, you're going to have things such as your My View, which, as you can see, we go back on top of there, and includes things such as your fuel economy and your tire pressure. Trip and fuel information, that's going to be your trip 1 and trip 2 information and everything that we just discussed. Status information, that's going to give you power distribution, auto start stop, as well as your seat belts. Vehicle maintenance, tire pressure, as well as oil life, audio, navigation, phone, as well as settings. Moving right along here, as you can see, we're taking a look at a 13.2-inch infotainment system, horizontally, of course, and as you can see, it does look very nice. First and foremost, what I have to say visually is that the screen looks really, really good. It kind of gives it a more luxury type feel to the interior, which is something you can't really say about an Escape, but as you can tell, it does look very impressive and overall quite nice. Now, we're taking a look at a couple of different screens here. So starting things off to the far left, we are going to be taking a look at your current time, as well as your navigation. And of course, if you click on navigation, it's going to send you straight to the map. And as you can see, it's going to give you a detailed look at the map, which looks nice. And all of Ford's models have this map, as you can see here, and it definitely does look cool as well. Over here, you do have some different shortcut buttons, such as a menu, search, recents, as well as favorites, which is pretty cool. And of course, to the far right, you can see what's playing on your sources there. With that being said, you do have your source right here. So let's say we click on that. It's going to show what's playing currently as far as what's on the radio, whether it's AM, FM, or Sirius XM radio. You're going to have your different preset stations down here. You're going to have your direct tune, which of course you can adjust the sound and treble and all that stuff, which is pretty nice. And overall, it does look pretty good. And then of course, this is to connect your phone to Bluetooth to the vehicle. And then you have 3 other menu items over here. So starting off with settings, it's going to run down a couple of different settings for the vehicle itself, such as radio, phone list, sync navigation, sound, vehicle, clock, general, display, connectivity, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, Ford Assistant, 911 Assist, as well as valet mode. So for example, let's say we want to check out a particular setting here. Let's, for example, say we want to go to general, and that's going to give us a couple of different things here, such as units of measurement, language, tire pressure units, your touchscreen beep, about sync, software licenses, and of course a reset button there. Let's say we want to go a little further, for example, let's say we want to go to vehicle, and it's going to give you different things that you can adjust up within the vehicle, of course, such as rear occupant alert, easy entry and exit, remote start setup, onboard serial number, wipers, power liftgate, lighting, locks, door keypad code, and that's it there. So overall, just a quick look at some settings in the Ford Escape ST Line Select. Coming over to features here, as you can see, you're going to have different things such as drive modes, driver assistance, owner's manual, and record feedback. And then coming down to apps, you're going to have 5 mobile apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as well as mobile apps help. Coming down below that, you're going to have your dual zone climate controls, fan speed, you're going to have your heated steering wheel, fan positioning, max AC. This is going to be for your rear AC. This is to turn the AC system on or off. And of course, you do have heated front seats for the front and front passenger. With that being said, coming down here, as you can see, we do have a dedicated volume switch. We do have your remote start button there. You're going to have different controls here. This is going to be for your camera. As you can see, pretty nice and kind of easy to see out of. And of course, you do have a 360 camera as well, which is very helpful. Coming below that, you do have your auto stop start, turn it on or off, max AC, and then this is going to be for your different drive modes. So you push on this, as you come over here, well, actually it's going to be on the screen here. So you're going to have normal, hold on. You have normal, as you can see there. You have eco. You have sport. And then you have slippery. Pretty cool to see that. And then coming down below that, you do have a wireless phone charger, or you can charge your device via USB. As you can see, you have a USB and a USB-C port. You have a 12-volt outlet right there. Coming over here, as you can see, you kind of have this brushed finish on around the gear selector and around the cup holders, and they do look nice. And of course, this vehicle does have a 10-speed automatic transmission. As you can tell, camera quality is quite good. You do get that backup camera with guidance signs, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel, as you can see. You also have a top-down view as well. Pretty cool to see that. You do have your electronic parking brake here. You do have your, I believe this is going to be for either your traction control or something that you can turn on or off. You have a little storage area here for some small coins. Coming over to the glove compartment here. Decent size, nothing too crazy. And then of course you do have that red stitching that follows through, which looks really cool. Now, the seats in the Ford Escape ST line is pretty nice, I have to say. These seats is a combination of both leather as well as this premium cloth material, which as you can see looks absolutely cool. And I do love the red stitching that comes throughout the seats here. So on the bolsters, on the headrest, all the way down to where you're going to rest your bottom, you really are going to have a pretty detailed interior for what it is. And it does look really nice. Now, as you come over here to your glove box, it is dampened. Nothing's really in there, of course. And then this one does have your all-weather floor mats from Ford Accessories. Coming over here to the other side, as you can see, you're gonna have controls for your headlights and fog lights, gauge dimmer switches, as well as an area to open up your trunk, which we're actually going to open up the trunk right now, so it'll be easier to get on into. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So with that being said, guys, the Ford Escape is pretty nice for what it is. And, you know, I reviewed one before, which I'll talk about towards the end. But this one is a lot better than the one that I reviewed back, I think, 3 months ago. But again, more on that towards the end of the video. So with that being the case, let's go ahead and let's check out the rest of this Ford Escape ST Line Select. Coming into the back of the Ford Escape ST line, as you can see, materials do follow throughout. You do have the combination of the leather as well as the premium cloth materials here, and they do feel nice and soft. You still have that red stitching that continues throughout the back seats as well. Of course, you're going to have one seat pocket, which is right behind the front passenger. You're going to have two air vents back here, as well as two USB ports down at the bottom there. And then you do have a powder armrest with two cup holders. The Ford Escape does come standard with your Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, which makes it easy to fill up at the gas station, as well as an illustration of how to do it if you're using a traditional gas tank. This now leads us to cargo space for the Ford Escape. As you can see here, it's pretty cavernous and surprisingly large for a compact SUV. Now, as you can see here, you can fold the seats down for extra space, and what we're looking at right now is around 37.8 cubic feet of space. But if you were to fold down the seats, and they do fold relatively flat, you'd be almost doubling the amount of room that you have to around 65.2 cubic feet. So not quite doubled, but a bit more than what you would get, you know, let's say in a smaller vehicle. So overall, not too bad. And as we come down here, you do have a spare tire. And when you're done, tap this button here, and it will close automatically. As you can see, the rear of the Escape is very nice and well done. You do have LED taillights back here. You do have Escape spelled out across the back, as well as your Ford badge. And you also have your all-drive badge right here, since this one does come with all-drive standard. This vehicle also does have your front and rear parking sensors, and you have dual exhaust tips. You also have these WeatherTech window protectors here, which is pretty cool. Under the hood of the Ford Escape ST Line Select, we are looking at one of Ford's optional engines for the Escape. It's a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, mated to that 10-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle is all-wheel drive. It produces 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Very good numbers for a small little SUV like this, and of course fuel economy is quite decent as well. Alright guys, so back in the Ford Escape ST Line Select, and I have to say, what an upgrade from what I reviewed a couple months ago. Now, I'm not saying the one that I reviewed a couple months ago was bad by any means. It was a nice, very inexpensive entry-level Escape, which I will admit looked pretty cool. Now, that one was an Escape Active. That, of course, replaces the XLT for 2024 and going forward. And so far, that one was pretty nice to review and check out. But this is where things get a little bit more interesting, of course. As you can see here, the ST line is going to be kind of the top of the line trim level for the Escape as we know it. And as you can see, as we discussed, it does come with a lot of cool features. Like, again, you have a 12.3-inch display here for the gauge cluster. You have a 13.2-inch infotainment system here, which is nice. You have a very, very nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, which also looks very sporty as well, which makes sense. This is the ST line model. Your seats here, as you can see, are very nice and comfortable, and the red stitching on it looks really, really attractive. And of course, this vehicle does come with a lot of safety features, such as a 360 camera, your lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, which is nice, and that, of course, is a part of the premium technology package for this vehicle. Now, this vehicle does not have a window sticker, but it came with 3 items. The 18-inch wheels that I said, those are actually 19s, and those, I believe, were around $395. The paint that we're looking at here is around $495, and the premium technology package, which does include the infotainment upgrade, the 360 camera, and a lot of other cool things that, you know, I talked about throughout this video, is $3,700. And to me, I think that is probably well worth it, because, you know, if, let's say you're giving this to someone who's going to be driving for the first time, the screen is going to be large enough, you are going to have a 360 camera, you are going to have safety features in the vehicle, which is nice. You even have a very good amount of cargo space for someone who might need to, you know, move themselves to, you know, a different dorm room or to an apartment, or whatever the case may be, whatever the vehicles will be used for. You have more than enough room to transport stuff in, which is really nice. Now, with that being said, this one here does come at a price. When this was brand new, this costed right around $38,620. So it's not cheap, but it does come well equipped. So with that being said, guys, it's very nice to check this one out, and I enjoyed it. So with that being said, guys, that's going to do it here for this walk around and tour of the 2023 Ford Escape ST Line Select with all-wheel drive. Finished here in rapid red tinted metallic clear coat. Try saying that 5 times as fast. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.